Hogwarts Legacy 2 is happening. It is officially official. I think we all knew this was coming based on the success of it. I mean, it was the best-selling game of 2023 and continues to sell like crazy in top charts here in 2024. But it has now been officially confirmed that the game is currently in development. So this all starts last month when it was discovered that Avalanche Studio, the developers of the game, had posted a very interesting job listing looking for a producer for an unknown project. And the nice to haves on your resume was experience developing open world RPG games, especially with action/magical combat. So I mean, I wonder what that could be. Obviously, everyone knows what that means, but this week we got actual official confirmation straight from the source. So there was a Bank of America media conference that went on Wednesday, and the CFO of Warner Brothers Discovery, Gunnar Weidenfels, was quoted saying this: "Obviously, a successor to Hogwarts Legacy is one of the biggest priorities in a couple of years down the road, so there's certainly a significant growth contribution from that games business and our strategic outlook here." Now, he also went on to talk about how Suicide Squad: The Justice League was a bit of a miss with their release last year, and the gaming portion of their business is a huge strategic asset for them. But let's just focus on the main part here. Hogwarts Legacy is one of the biggest priorities for Warner Bros. Right now, which I could not be more excited about, dude. That is my favorite series we have ever done. It is one of my favorite video games we have ever played, and the fact that we are absolutely positively getting another one, it's actually confirmed. We all could assume it, but it's actually confirmed now, is beyond my wildest dreams. So that's pretty much what we have. There's nothing else. We don't know any sort of a timeline. Obviously, we don't know any release dates. We don't know any details or what to expect here, but we do know that it absolutely is coming in the next few years, and obviously we are definitely going to be there. Now, I thought it could be kind of fun to talk about some of the things we might want to see added, some of the changes we might want to see made, and just kind of have like a little communal discussion here. So I was thinking about it, dude. Like, there's nothing that's ever going to top the feeling of first walking around the castle and the first time you hop on a broom and fly around and stuff like that. Like, that was such an impactful moment. That game was so absolutely incredible. How in the world do you top that? What do you do with the second one to improve it? I think one of the things I want to see most is some sort of impactful morality. Obviously, there was kind of a good and a bad, and you had the whole side quest with Sebastian Sallow to learn dark magic and eventually get the unforgivable curses and things like that. But it didn't really feel like that had a crazy impact. You know, obviously you have the side quests and you see Sallow's story and his uncle, and it was awful. It was really, really sad. And you had a couple of choices you could make and had slightly different outcomes, but like, you didn't actually see anything change in the world. It didn't really affect your story that much. So I think if there's some sort of a moral range where there's actual impacts to the story, and you could maybe have branching endings, you could have people treat you differently. I don't know if it needs to be as crazy as something like a Red Dead Redemption 2's morality system, but definitely something that's a little bit more impactful. I feel like, you know, dark versus light, good versus evil, like it's such a huge part of this world. I just feel like it needs to be a little bit more impactful and change the game a little bit more depending on which way you go. And obviously that adds to a lot of replayability. Next up, and honestly equally as important, I might be out in left field here. I might be on my own. I would like more to do with the school side of things. Like, not the action, not going out fighting the bad guys kind of stuff. I don't want to say I want a school or a Hogwarts simulator, but I genuinely wouldn't mind a little bit more Hogwarts simulation in there. Like, I always like going to the classes. I would love to see more classes. I would do some homework. I would do some studying. Obviously, with that, the more time you put in, you can learn more spells, and you could have more spells and potions and things like that. I would love to see more potions. Yeah, like, I don't know, like having a schedule, having clubs you can attend and join, having activities that you can go do. Obviously, there was some of this, but I would love a little bit more of that student life and that camaraderie. And obviously, with that, you could have a little bit more in terms of relationships. Like, we had some side characters. I'm thinking about like Sebastian and Poppy and things like that. But if you could actually have like a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a companion setup where you can actually like choose, hey, I like you. I'm going to hang out with you. We're going to build our relationship. You're going to come with me. We're going to go study together, that kind of thing. Like kind of make the world feel a little bit more lived in and real. Like we went into the restricted section and the main storyline of the game with Sebastian, but like I want to get caught out after dark, after class, and get detention and go, right, I must not tell lies and you know, that kind of thing. Like I think it would be really cool just to have a little bit more of the actual student experience. You can make friendships. We could have potential romances. Maybe you have like relationships with your teachers where you're schmoozing your teachers, you're sucking up to them, or you're always late to class and you know, not paying attention, and so you kind of get worse treatment. I like the feeling of being a Hogwarts student. I feel like there could be a little bit more in there, but again, I'm a super huge Harry Potter nerd, so I know that's not necessarily for everyone. For the casual player that's just looking to have fun and shoot around some spells, they might not like that as much. Definitely want the House Cup in there, and I want it to be meaningful. I want it to be tough. I want it to, you know, change the story again, like have some impact. Next up, obviously, we've got some low-hanging fruit here. Quidditch. It would be nice to have Quidditch in the game. It would have been nice to have Quidditch added later on as DLC. Obviously, we had Quidditch Champions that just released this week. Kind of a different vibe. It's really fun. I'm enjoying it. I know a lot of people are upset that it wasn't a part of the main game or it wasn't DLC or anything else, and people are going to say what they want to say. I enjoy the game. I think it's pretty good. It's free on PS Plus and it's $30. So like, I'm not mad at it. I would like to see a little bit more of like a little bit more gritty style of Quidditch in Hogwarts Legacy 2 though. So hopefully that's going to work out. You never really know what happened. Obviously, the first one was the first Harry Potter game we've had in a long time. It was kind of a proof of concept. Who knows why we couldn't have Quidditch? If that time was spent elsewhere in development to make sure other parts of the game were better polished and more ready and things like that. Like, let's be honest, Hogwarts Legacy was one of the most polished releases I have seen on console, on PC, anywhere in a very long time. Like it was well done out of the box. I'm not saying it was perfect, but it was well done out of the box, and that's something that's not as common lately with a lot of releases. So yeah, would love to see Quidditch. If we can, we'll see. Triwizard Tournament. I know this is a long shot. There's probably no way this would happen, but I would love to see a Triwizard Tournament feature. Imagine fighting dragons, going through mazes, going underwater in the Black Lake. Like, that would just be absolutely ridiculous. I think that's probably impossible to do, but it's, you know, a reach goal. And finally, last but not least, this is not an exhaustive list, by the way, just a couple of random points that I could come up with here on the spot. I really liked the Room of Requirement and like taking care of beasts and the like growing plants and being able to get ingredients out of them, and like the time part of that, like the almost farming aspect of that. I would just love all of that to be expanded. Like, the Harry Potter universe has so many interesting creatures and plants and things that you could do. Like, I would love to see a little bit more of that. And I think that probably kind of goes back to what I want, like a Hogwarts life simulation, bro. I want to know what it was like to be a student. I want to live out that dream. I also want to go out, see some cool landscapes, fight some bad guys. The combat was so good in that game. We could expand on that a little bit too. You know, obviously we had kind of a parry block attack type thing, so maybe we could add a little bit to that. But overall, I was really happy with it. So all of that was great. Dude, give me a Hogwarts life simulator and I'm chill. I'm gonna go to class. I'll spend hours in class. I'll study. I'll memorize. I'll do whatever you want me to do. So ultimately, I think that's what my list boils down to. Give me some morality and give me a Hogwarts life sim. I'll leave it to you guys. What do you guys want to see in Hogwarts Legacy 2 or the sequel to Hogwarts Legacy? We don't know what it's going to be called yet. We just know for a fact that it is on the way, and I can't wait to go back. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you all later. Peace out.